Yo, yo,
Ladies
yo.
and germs.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hunter, my brother, how you doing, man?
Crawling my way out of the holiday season. The amount of food, alcohol, and football that I intook does not account for a solid week, but we're surviving, man. How's your holiday season?
Mine, well, I don't know. I say it was good, but it was also bad. My wife got COVID and that fucking sucked. My son got it the first part, the Christmas week, and then my wife got it Christmas Eve. So we had to cancel Christmas Day at the last minute. And then I got COVID on Wednesday, but I was lucky. I woke up with being not feeling good Wednesday morning, and then by like 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, I felt perfectly fine. So I just had to quarantine for 5 days, and um, I don't know. It was all right. Didn't do anything for New Year's. Just chilled. We made some tomahawk steaks and drank a little bit of beer, and that was pretty much it. But everybody got what they wanted for Christmas, so that's freaking cool,
Santa
man.
always comes through, man. Forget what you know, man. Santa always comes through.
He does, and he for sure did come through, man. Our boys are older. I got a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, so they're in the most part pretty easy to buy for, and they don't get a lot because their stuff is expensive. Like my youngest got an Oculus. This is like $300. So it's like, dude, there's that one present counts as pretty much two right there, homeboy. you just ate a big, you just ate like a third of your budget, man, quarter of your budget right there, buddy. So,
Absolutely.
um,
Well, how's your week been coming back from the vacations?
man, it's been good. I really didn't, like most people. I didn't do anything much Monday as far as like sales stuff. Everyone's coming back from two long weekends. Christmas, and then everybody's kind of bullshits Christmas week and then New Year's. So it's been all right, man. Actually been kind of busy today. Yesterday was okay. Got a few loads crossed, but today I've actually been quite busy. So happy about that, man. Starting off the year on a good foot. How about you with the new gig, man? How's that going so far?
I'll tell you, as much as truckload is a headache, I do miss the goofy dispatcher email signatures. I don't know if you saw my post this morning. This
No,
lady had a picture of her two pet parrots on the bottom. I love it. I love it. But yeah, if y'all didn't know, I'm at Rain Dogs Logistics and Trucking. Back in business. So day two, just getting everything set up, going through training, obviously, learning a new TMS on a different day. But yeah, good to be back in the swing of things. Haven't stopped since yesterday morning, it seems like.
that's good, bro. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're getting settled back in and stuff, dude. And looks like even though we're on day two of the new year work year, I guess you could say. Sounds like things are going good for freaking both of us. So today we just got a quick little show. Hunter and I, we didn't want to get too much into some crazy stuff and try to have a guest on, first week back from a holiday, like we're saying. So I just put together a few things that have gone into effect as of January 1st, or will go into effect here in the month of January. That will affect the industry a little bit. So kind of be, I guess, in a sense, one long show. Well, I would say long show, a show of nothing but little news articles. But I promise I'll keep it short. A few little sentences for each. We'll make some funny commentary as it pops into our head, and then we will just leave everybody alone for the rest of their. Is it Wednesday? Wednesday afternoon. Jesus, dude, like, oh man, it doesn't even feel like Wednesday, man. It really doesn't. I don't. It's just who knows. All right, so before we do all that, I'm going to do a sponsor break here. Shoreline Capital, our new sponsor, they actually just renewed their sponsorship with us, so we'll have them with us another month. All you brokers, carriers out there, A majority of us factor our invoices because we cannot wait for those net terms to roll around. We need that fluid capital and that money continuously flowing to help us to build working capital and keep the doors open and keep the bills paid on a regular basis. So reach out to Clint Weston and his team over there. Information rolling at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you tell them that you heard about it on the Logistics Lounge. Yeah. All right. Our longest sponsor, Mr. Jimmy Durden at AccuBid Pro. To make all that money for you to factor their carriers, you're going to need something like AccuBid Pro. Well, you'll need AccuBid Pro. It's the only thing like it out there. App is available in the Apple and the Google Store. Helps you record all your expenses on your loads and calculates that cost per mile. If you don't know your cost per mile, you don't know at what point you're making money. And if you don't know at what point you're making money, you don't know how to continue to scale and grow your business.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Let them know though. AccuBid Pro is currently down. The servers, they're working on the program there, but they will be back up and running here shortly. However, all the information's below. Mr. Jimmy Durden's happy to talk to you through it, and I guarantee you his team will give you any advice while they're going through this process. But on to the main
I appreciate
segment.
That's right, man. I did forget about that. So yeah, they're like Hunter said, servers are down, so they're working on it, and they'll take care of everybody as soon as they can. Well, moseying right on along to getting this little diddly out of the way here. Like I said, kind of just going to be a quick, a whole little segment of some news stories, a couple of things that I just found interesting, bring it to everyone's attention, and we'll make an easy go of the day. So. Woo woo! First on the agenda. All right, one of these things. This started January 1st. I actually talked about this, I don't know, October, November, December time frame.
We've been talking about it.
What this is in regards to is, yeah. Well, I mean, I know we talked about it at least once. I don't know if I talked about it, more than that. But as you see by the name of the article, this comes from CDL Life. If you want to go read it for yourself, just cdllife.com and go on there and find the article title like you see there. All right. January 1st, carriers had until that day to apply for a login.gov ID. This is taking place of y'all getting or of the FMCSA portal. This is one of the sorry, I have cats going crazy. This is one of these steps that the FMCSA and DOT are taking to help keep carriers' information, carriers' information more secure and to help curtail the fraud. A big part of this fraud and stuff this past, I don't know, probably the later part of the year was a lot of these scammers getting control of carriers and even brokers, FMCSA portal information, going in there, changing phone numbers, addresses, all that stuff, and then started booking loads underneath their MC and such. So, good thing about login.gov is it is a lot more secure. I actually use a login.gov for my VA and a couple other sites that I deal with. It is a 2FA, which is a 2-layer authorization. So not only do you have to have your password, but it'll send you a text or an email or give you a phone call with a code that you have to accept. So yeah, I think that's a really good thing. I know there are a lot of carriers out there that failed to do this. So guys, gals, make sure I go out there. You know, like I said, you don't have access to your stuff anymore. So, you know, I don't know if there's a message up that directs you to the login.gov, but if you just go to, hold on, let me find the website. It is secure.login.gov, secure.login.gov. Go there and apply for your login ID and that that you would have had in your FMCSA portal. Is this going to work? Hello? No. Oh, there we go. All right. I know majority of people have heard about this, probably almost every carrier. Even if you're not one that is in California, still think this is good information. Maybe you know someone that is a carrier in California and they're not aware of this. But there was a deadline of January 1st for carriers based out of California. Is part of their environmental programs and stuff. They call it the clean truck check. So carriers were granted an extension to the deadline from January 1st to January 31st to get compliant with the program. It's aimed at ensuring that all vehicles over 14,000 miles get periodic emissions testing to make sure they're in compliance with California environmental laws, you know, cut down on emissions, smog, stuff like that. We know California is huge on all those things. So the reporting actually starts in July. So January 31st is just your deadline to get signed up for the program and pay your $30 fee. And give me a second here. Sorry about that. To pay your $30 fee, and then you got to go and get an emissions test, have that information submitted to the state of California. For 2024, they're only requiring everybody to get one test, but they say that some people or carriers will be asked to get two tests starting in 2025. They didn't list what the parameters would be, like if it's, hey, you failed, you know, the first test, or maybe your stuff was close to failing, so we need you to do two of them this year. But one in 2024, two for a good group of people in 2025. Carriers will have the option of buying an onboard device, which I only bring this up because I love how there's always additional cost with people. You know, with these things, when I've seen some of these headlines in this article, it was, oh, it's $30. It's $30 in the cost of the test, not a big deal. Well, I didn't find what the cost of the emissions test is, but the onboard device, that is several $100s that you can buy. It will record the data from your vehicle, and it will give you a readout of that, email it to you, whatever, for you to submit that. So the device costs several $100s. Then there's the process of getting it installed on your vehicle. That, who knows how much it could be. Then a lot of devices also charge a one-time $500 licensing fee, and then a $504 cloud fee for the industry leader of this device. That is their pricing. So, you know, not only do you have the $30 fee, but if you decide to go the route and get the onboard device, you know, you'd probably look at another several $1,000s. Or you can go to a certified tester. Again, I couldn't find how much that would be. Maybe it's listed somewhere and I just overlooked it. But yeah, there you go. You have till January 31st. Sign up for the Clean Truck Act. Pay your $30 compliance fee, get registered for it, and then submit your first emissions test by July.
Keep the EVs away, man. This is the step to keep the EVs out of service.
I will say, honestly, dude, I see it in the opposite, man. I honestly see it as being a way to push the EV shit harder, because, you know, and to also, and I think it's from several different levels, or several different points. They want to do the emissions test so they can say, oh, hey, look at all the pollution that is going on, that we've said been going on, you know. And of course they're going to pad the data, you know what I mean? They always do, you know, to prove their point. They always come out with the worst case scenarios. So they're going to do that, use that information as part of their ad campaign or whatever you want to say on it. And then also the fee with it, man, the $30, it doesn't sound like a lot, which I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not, but it's another fee that drivers and carriers have to pay. It's more time wasted that they have to take out of their schedule to go and deal with paying with this fee and getting the emissions testing and then submitting all the paperwork. And also, I also think that it is just another way for California to continue to fund a bankrupt state, man. I mean, like, we know they've been short on money a long time, and I'm not getting into anything crazy. It's just fact. You know what I mean? So when you need to make money,
I mean,
what do you
dude,
do? You come up with stupid things to charge people money for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but do you get emissions done in Texas?
You do it in certain areas. It's like large metropolitan areas. It's not everywhere. I don't know the cost. I think it's, I don't know, maybe 50. I would assume less than $100.
You got to sit in line on a Saturday. We all have to do it. So I don't want to hear about having to take time out of your day. But also, if you're running a large scale operation, you probably got a yard goat or something out there that can just do your shuttling for you, get it done.
Well,
but carb compliance has always been a thing, though.
No,
and the fact that
it has. I'm just saying this is just an additional layer, man. You know, it's just another fee, and I get it, man. The emission stuff. I don't know California's laws. I'm sure everybody probably already has to get one in a four wheeler, but still, man. I mean, I'm thinking about it as an objective. You know, on a objective point of view, is being, hey, now they have to get it for their car. Now they got to get it for their truck. You know, and it's more record keeping stuff like that. You know, I mean, hey, I'm not trying to just say all the negative stuff. I'm just, you know, making the point. It's just another one of the things that's being added to the industry. You know what I mean? To make things a little more difficult. So, moving on, California to require ELDs for intrastate drivers. That as well was starting January 1st. I was actually surprised to read this article and read that California didn't have this as a requirement already. I thought that as of 2017, you know, everyone was required to have it in one form or another. So, interstate drivers, as of earlier this week on Monday, you are required to run an ELD if you operate outside 150-mile air radius of your home domicile. This requirement here is they are calling keeping track of their record of duty status, or RODS. Yeah, I think RODS is an appropriate name, because that's what they're giving you, man. The ROD. You know what I mean? As soon as I read that, bro, I was like, man, sometimes you can just not make this shit up, bro, and they come up with some of these acronyms. I've got another one. It's not an acronym, but I got another name of a government organization that is going to blow your mind. It's just one of those things. I was like, holy shit, man. The amount of thought that goes into some of this stuff. But either way, they're calling it the RODS program or whatever. That's the little moniker they're giving it. Like I said, record of duty status. As I said towards the beginning of the thing, although in 2017, federal government had started, you know, regulating and decided that carriers were going to have to run ELDs on OTR operations. I guess apparently, you know, there was something in there that said states didn't have to implement that. I know that here in Texas you do. I also know that we as well have the 150-mile radius, which I think is a federal DOT thing. So there you go, California cares. Man, just another thing hitting you guys and gals below the belt this week. So get out there, get those ELDs. I also will say, go back and watch our end of the year show. I think it was December 22nd, maybe. But yeah. But I say that because I gave a list in there of ELD providers that were canceled in 2023. So, you know, go back, watch that, or just Google ELD providers canceled by FMCSA to make sure that you don't sign up with one of those, because I don't know if all of those have actually shut down operations. You know how some companies try making money up to the last minute. So hold on, man. We got a comment here. Jeff, man, I cannot wait. Jeff, what's up? What is the dilly? Jeff will be on our show next week with the Broker Carrier Summit. That is going to be a good one, man. I'm really stoked about that one. Dude, I don't know if I told you what Jeff had said when I sent him a message about coming on. I was like, dude, Jeff, hey, I got Broker Care Summit coming on. Would you like to come on? And he said, yeah, man, what day is it? And then applied immediately after. Never mind, whatever I got going on, I'll cancel. I was like, dude, so funny, man. Oh man, because
About to have a hoedown going on next week.
I know, brother. I know. Jeff strongly promotes the Broker Carrier Summit, so really glad to have them on and have them talk about what they do. Not that they really need much more advertising. Everybody knows who they are, but be a really cool guest to have on. We've all heard it from Jeff's mouth and some other people, so be good to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say. So, all right, California, Criers ELDs, Interstate, January 1st. There you go. Here is.
Hold on, I want to touch on that just one more,
dude,
one little thing though.
I don't know.
So with the 150-mile radius, is that just mean going outside of 150 miles? Because this is what I was talking to you about earlier. With, I've had like some drayage carriers, or I say drayage, but POs that do shuttles for me. Curtis the Rabbit was my guy back in the day, and this dude would run like 36 hours straight without me even knowing. I would just give him a list of containers that needed to move from here to here, and I didn't ask any questions, but I'm surprised they're not bringing anything on with the drayage portion of things with the LDs or even just local runs.
I don't know how they're doing it, man. But the 150-mile thing, man, that's across anywhere as far as I know. And I know it used to be from your home domicile. So I don't know, maybe a catch-22 that you're a drayage guy running down the Port of Long Beach, but your home domicile is maybe San Francisco and you're just down, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but
another developing story to keep in touch with, but
yeah, for sure. Jeff, are we going? We want to. We have an idea that we're actually going to talk to. We'll talk to y'all about it the day of the show. It's really cool thing, man. I know you would be down with it, but we got to talk to the broker carrier people and get their thoughts on it. So,
well, all I'm saying is my 30th birthday is April 24th, so maybe a little gift for the boys.
listen to this guy. All right. The last serious kind of thing that, well, I say serious, it's all kind of serious, but I will say the last serious thing of the day, because the next thing we got is lighthearted. Really excited to get to that one next. But fines for FMCSA regulations have increased. The FMCSA has increased their fine amounts in the final days of 2023. Here is about to be that government thing I was telling you about. All right. Federal DOT published it would increase fines for agencies, including the FMCSA, starting in 2024. This is accredited to the annual adjustment from the Federal Civil Penalties Inflation Adjustment Improvement Act. Yeah. That's one hell of a mouthful. We could have just, I don't know, probably shortened that by five other words. So, anyway, some of these fees, I will say, they're not going up crazy amounts. One of the things that actually surprised me was the amounts period for some of these fines. Like some of these things were really small for stuff that I thought was going to be a lot, and some of the fines are a lot for things that was going to be really small. But this table is extremely long, so I'll just show this, give you a few examples of how they're not really going up a lot. I think when I did the math, mostly it's just a few percent, 2, 3, 4, 5% that they're going up. So nothing crazy. Like this first one, you can see 1288, it's going up to 1330, 12882 going up to 133. But I want to also, where's that 100? 100, where did we look at? There was one on here for hazmat stuff. Oh, here it is, right? Or the tariff violation. So if you get a tariff violation, it's $193,000, increasing now to $200,174. That is for your initial offense. But for today and today only, they're running a special that all of your offenses after that are only $387. So that's one of the things that I said. Like, it shocked me by some of the fee amounts of these fees. And I think there was another one for hazmat. It was like a $250,000 fee for your first occurrence, but after that it was only like 487. So it's like, hey, if you're going to commit the offenses for certain things, you might as well commit it.
Pay now and save later.
Yes, take all of your stuff at one time, man. So yeah, and this is across the board. This, like I said, this is a really long list, but as you can see, it's everything from out of service orders, like I said, to hazmat violations, tariff violations. So it is for more than just carriers too. These things will affect brokers and freight forwarding people. Record keeping. I mean, there's another one, falsifying your record. So like I said, it covers a plethora of everything. I don't know if this lists every one of the fines, but again, for the fourth time, this, as you can see, is a pretty lengthy table. But I would recommend that if this is something that interests you, maybe you're a company that, you know, you're in the market to make a couple mistakes this year and you want to know how much those are going to cost you, or maybe you just want to know what to help mitigate risk, you know, just in case those are happening. This one came from Overdrive, overdriveonline.com. This article, as you see, it was from last week, December 28th. So it was right at the top of their site. Go there, look at it, or maybe simply just Google FMCSA, you know, regulation fines increased, something like that. And you can go over all that. So yeah, dude, I wish I could have found that hazmat one. I can't believe that, man, that some of those things for like the smallest things, like an out of service order was like, what is that, man? Look at that, $2,500 just for operating, just for the driver, you know. And then look at that, requiring permitting if you're out of service for a permit, 22,000 went out, $23,000, bro. That's freaking nuts. I'm telling you, the government is running money laundering or money rackets, man. I mean, like, it's nuts. Like, you wonder how we're able to spend trillions of dollars every year, dude. Just look at the places they find a way to collect money from. Just absolutely nuts, man. Hunter, are you with me?
Yeah, no, I am. Chad over here, he commented on our LinkedIn page, but I was telling him to give us a follow because we couldn't see it. But he was saying, I love how they put increased fines to keep up with inflation. Seriously, it's bad enough the shops probably did their yearly $50 to $100 an hour price raise. The money grabbing from people towards truckers never ends. I bet if we were to look at the fines versus what truckers make, they get fined at a higher percent than sport athletes. Which, I mean,
I agree.
I mean, definitely. Maybe not the NFL. The NFL throws some pretty ridiculous fines, but
I mean, the government don't get no part of that. So, but I see your point, and I agree. And that was part of the thing that I found in here that was ironic was that, like it says right there, increasing fines to keep up with inflation. Like, dude, you're the one that causes inflation. Like, there is no inflation within the government. Like, you're the one that writes the rules. Everyone else is subject to inflation except the government. Like, what a shitty excuse. And it's like, and it's literally the government like punching us right in the throat. You know what I mean? It's like, here we are telling you we're concerned about inflation, but we're also going to heighten our fees and penalties for you because, you know, inflation.
Alex, to answer your question, never.
Hey, make Alex get you a following behind you, man, and on this, and go to the FMCSA and say, hey, y'all forgot a regulation violation fine increase on this little fancy list of here, and submit some, man. You know, maybe there is a law that says if we get X amount of signatures, we could get something put on the ballot. And then we could just come up with dumb stuff and just get like 5,000 signatures for like just the most idiotic things and see what we can get pushed through.
We could carpet bomb them. I'm here for it.
I am
And
too.
if anybody's gonna write him up, I can see Alex definitely taking the lead on that.
Yeah, right. And that's the truth, man.
But in
All
all
right,
reality,
so
we're all
moving
trying
on
to keep up with
to this last
inflation.
thing.
What?
That's that's true, but I mean, what in the holy mother of I don't know what's I clicked on the wrong thing.
There we go.
You're frozen and I'm lagging. I don't know what the deal is there. All right, last thing we're going to talk about here. What'd you say, bro?
None. Keep rolling.
Whatever. I'll keep on going. Last thing to talk about here. Uh, something that we've covered many times. Actually, we just had Evan with Truck Parking Club on last week for our Christmas special. So I think really cool thing to follow up immediately with on our first show. That was something we touched on our last show and is really getting a lot of attention. As you can see, Indiana has plans to invest $600 million to help solve the truck parking shortage. First thing I want to say about this is how sad is it that one individual damn state is talking about putting more money into a problem than the fucking federal government is. I just want to say. All right. So this article came out yesterday. As you can see, it's got a video to it. I watched the entire news story is actually what it is. And it never had a date on the actual news story. So I don't know if it was the second, the first, maybe it was, the last week of the year. I'm not sure. But in the video, they talk about that, as the article says, Indiana is going to put $600 million over the course of 10 years into adding additional truck parking and other facilities for trucks. They plan to add, let me scroll down here, 1,100 new truck parking spaces at 21 different rest areas. I mean, 1,100 spaces, that is nothing to shy away from or put down. That's a lot of trucks that are going to have additional space in the state. They also are even talking about turning 2 rest areas and more, but starting with these 2 that they currently have closed down for renovations to turn them into truck only truck rest areas. So no parking space for cars. They'll have added facilities for drivers. What that may be, I don't know. But I think that's a really cool thing. I'm not sure if they have truck only rest areas. I've seen truck parking areas on side of highways and stuff, like rest areas just for truck parking, but never seen truck specific ones. I think that's a really cool thing because, I mean, not to touch on a stupid thing, but I will tell you, just like everywhere else, rest areas are one of those fun things that you have to watch for four-wheelers when you're pulling in and out of them and dealing with them, dude. And coincidentally, man, like the truck parking, the ones here in Texas, the newer ones, they're pretty substantial as far as like getting in and out. But a lot of these older ones, man, it's only 4 or 5 truck spaces. The entrance is real narrow. The exits are real narrow. Man, trucks will park on the side as it starts getting later, causes shit to jam up. So I think it's really cool. Indiana is really taking what I would consider a lead on this, jumping behind it, not waiting for, the federal government to issue funds, which obviously I'm sure some of this money will come from federal grants and and from part of the federal government. But, the fact they already got a plan that they're putting out an idea and they're saying, hey, we're going to get this started. So hopefully at the state level, it'll move a lot more faster than it will at the federal level. And yeah, there you go. Just continue to see that a lot more things in our industry, like truck parking and the fraud and the scams, just a lot of things are finally starting to get addressed, are becoming more and more headlines and actual real news instead of just in the industry. When I was looking for stuff for the show, I was actually just Googling, truck news January 1st. And there was tons and tons and tons of articles across big news sources. The Washington Post. There was some stuff from Business Insider, Wall Street Journal. There were a lot of publications out there that had articles and fairly lengthy ones, talking about issues in trucking and stuff. Things like the truck parking and some of the fraud stuff. One of them was talking, I think it was one of the business ones, maybe it was Business Insider, but they were talking about more of the financial aspects of it, about like diesel prices are coming down. They're hoping that insurance come down. So just that a lot more issues are starting to make it more of the mainstream about the trucking industry. And I want to say that presidential candidate Ramaswamy, I think is how you say his name. I mean, the fact that guy is making a key point of his campaign about dealing with trucking issues and stuff. And he expanded on a lot more than just parking and fraud. He talked about common sense hours of service. Helping things with like the drug consortium and other stuff that is not as touched on or brought as close to the surface as some of the other subject matter. So yeah, really excited to see how 2024 is going to start to pan out for things, not just for carriers in the sense of changes like this, but also with money stuff, man, and with the quality of carriers and the new entrants and the old ones that are coming out, the way business is going to shape up, how profitability is going to work for them. And same thing with brokers, man. I'm excited to see some of the more, I wouldn't say excited, but excited to see a little bit more of the regulations when it comes to the brokers. You know what I mean? The stuff they've talked about and about enforcing some of that stuff, because even the brokers out there that aren't committing fraud or scam, like there's still some shady ones. You know what I mean? Still some that aren't completely paying what they're supposed to be paying. They cancel their insurance before you can, file a claim, or they cancel their bond or whatever it is. So, also excited to see some of those things change and see profitability and things. Jeff, what you say here? That is right. I say quite often, actually have not said it in a long time on the show, but my trainer's dad told me that the day that I think I know everything about this industry is the day that I need to leave it. And I feel that way pretty much about anything, man. Like, you should always be learning more, even if it's not directly connected to your specific craft. Like, broken, like all these fine regulation increases, like, does that shit affect me? No, not really. I'm not doing anything illegal that's going to hurt me and stuff. But it's excuse me, it's good information to know and stuff. That FMCSA portal. I mean, that's good information and stuff to know. I mean, just staying in the know. Keeping your ears to the ground and your eyes to the sky, as they say. Just absorbing all that you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, you'll have to keep an eye peeled out. We got a show coming out with Dan Deegan that we did today. He's coming back on tomorrow, but that was one of the big points that I brought up. Is that's the reason that I fell in love with this industry, just as many others have. It's not like you're an accountant sitting down every day doing the same exact thing over and over and over. The cool thing about it is there are a million different ways to make a dollar in this industry, and it takes learning. You got to be excited about it. Go out there and really find your niche. Or you don't even have to find a niche, man. Move anything you want, do whatever you want. But yeah, stay excited, keep learning. Nobody's an expert. If they say they are, run. I don't know who said that. I read that somewhere. Is the moment someone tells you they're an expert on something, run. Like that is like the sign of, yeah, this person's a damn moron. Like the only thing they're an expert on is going to be me losing my money. But I again, I don't know. I agree with you, Jeff, again, on the learning thing, Hunter, exactly what you said. And it I don't know, it just benefits you to know as much as you can about your industry. I don't know. There's some parts of this thing I don't know absolutely nothing or very little about, like Rel and Dre. Like, I have the basics of it, but I know enough to get me by. I know enough of the regulations and carriers. I think that's something that carriers don't do enough, man, especially these smaller ones. They don't look into these things, man, which is why it's kind of important to Hunter and I to like highlight stuff like this on the show, like these regulations, or when we talk about recalls with equipment, stuff like that. Because we extend ourselves not only to the brokers and such, but the carriers. We try to be right down the middle and provide information to everybody. And it does. Knowing is important, because DOT or your insurance company or FMCSA, whoever, they don't give a shit if you don't know, because it's your job to know, just like if I run a restaurant, it's my job to know that I have to have a grease trap.
You know what I mean? They don't want to care that I've got a place for the grease to go. It has to specifically be a grease trap. If I don't have it, I don't get fined. So yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, but also things change every day. And Alex, to your comment here, even if you have 25 years of experience, shit, I don't know how long Jeff's been in 30, 40 years now. And he's the one that brought it up a while back on our show earlier. Nobody's an expert. You can't be. And if you're not absolutely evolving with this industry or anything that you do in life, you're just going to get left behind. And you're going to end up with egg on your face. And that's just not good for the brand. Not good for the brand.
Yeah. Dude, and when you've been in this business as long as Jeff has and saw them make the first shipment like across the Mediterranean in Jesus times, then dude, even he doesn't know everything. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. And Jeff, we told Dan to make sure he edited out all the shit talking that we did about you. So if he says that we did, he has to have video proof, and he already told us he's editing it, so there will never be any.
Well, we were on for about a good 45 minutes. The show should be a good 2 minutes long after all the editing, but
yeah, after all, that's true. After all,
we tucked in our t-shirts and everything. It was
Oh man! All right, Mr. Hunter, do you have any closing comments, man? I know we said we kind of want to just make it a quick show and just ease back on into the year.
Not really. Does anybody that's watching? I know we're getting a good little following here. Does anybody in the crowd have any questions, comments, want to chime in on something?
Yeah, anything. What did we talk about here? Let me pull up my sticky notes so we can go back over and just touch on it for a second there. All right, I know one of the first things talked about the clean truck check. You know, that thing going on in California where you got to sign up, have an emissions test done. You know, I don't know anybody out in California having to go through that right now, or maybe you know a little bit more about that. Want to talk on that? I know, Jeff. So I'm gonna just take a dig at Hunter, man. So this motherfucker, Jeff Hunter, I'm gonna go back and look at my message, dude. He stays up. I swear that he has a program that like every time we get a follower, it sends him a message. Dude, I've got messages.
I don't turn my computer off. I do not turn my computer off.
2:30 in the morning, and I get a message from Hunter. We hit 501 followers. That's great, Hunter.
Well, that was our goal. We hit our yearly goal. We hit 500 followers for the end of the year.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, we're growing, man. And it's all organic, Jeff. Like we were just talking about maybe doing a couple paid things to drive some more people. You're only, dude. Do you like that, bro?
I got Bobcat back here. Got a whiskey barrel. Yeah, I'm a real person. Sometimes. We did the screens, but Hunter and I didn't like it, man. Especially like when we started wearing our Santa hats and stuff, and it looked weird, man. And I don't know. I got a nice office, dude. You know what I mean? That stuff. That's some of my grandpa's military stuff. He was, for a lack of better words, a spy in the Air Force, and then that stuff is just some of my schooling and military stuff. I got like a whole bunch more of it, but I got to redo my wall. So I don't know. I'm proud of that stuff. So why not show it off? I'm glad you like the Only Freight hat though. Y'all got to check it out. Hunter and I are putting the finishing touches on the store. We just had to figure out some legality, tax stuff, and all that, and payment issues, so we can make sure that it is a flawless thing. And then Hunter is going to officially roll it out. We'll drop links and all that stuff like that. I know, dude. It is so Alex. When we were talking to Dan Deegan today, we were literally talking about like sales stuff. How what the evolution of sales tactics needs to be this year, and not just for brokers, carriers, but just across the board. And we had used the Logistics Lounge as an example. Talking about, hey, everyone needs to try to like be a little bit more relaxed. Everyone's talking about, drive service or do this or talk about assets or whatever like that. And I had said on Dan's little show that my plan for this year is to approach things like we do the lounge. Everybody's just a normal person. Like you're on the other end of the line talking with that person, and you don't even know that they're like Hunter in the background. They got a live rock show going on that they're really paying attention to and not even listening to what you're saying. You know what I mean? But
it's like, dude, yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. It is just being real in the background stuff, man. Seeing who Hunter is and us being personal and chill, man. I think that's an important thing for me this year, even though I know we weren't talking about
Yeah,
sales.
we'll get a solid 30 minutes of Jerry Garcia ripping it down in the background.
Don't have the OnlyFans thoughts, Chase TJ.
Hey, why do you think we call everybody the lounge lizards, man?
Yeah, the lounge.
There's more going on in the background than you know.
Dude, you were so right, Alex. It is, man, and I want to be optimistic for 2024, and I'm a tell you that I think the tensions are high. Because obviously with the brokers and carriers, it's, dude. I'll refer back to what Jason says. You don't give a shit if I lose money, so I don't give a shit if you lose money, and that's the big dynamic between brokers and carriers right now. One thinks the other one's always screwing them over. The shippers, dude, they're just tired of being hounded by 20 fucking idiots a day that really have lighten up Pedro. I am light. What are you talking about? Dude, there is nobody in this industry more
Shots fired.
I promise you that. Man, completely. Oh, yeah. Shippers being bothered all the time, man. I can see why tensions are high, dude. I get people that are really rude to me, man. I know it's not a lot, but I get a lot of shippers, man, that stop calling me, stop emailing me. I get sick and tired of this mess. So they are. And to the point, I agree. More chilling and joking, man. You know, like, again, to touch back on this, everybody at the end of the day is going home and
we're real people.
Yeah.
Anybody you're calling is a real person. Like, that's what we talked about. Like, if you're making a cold call and you think you have something creative to say, there's a good chance that 30 people ahead of you have said almost the same thing. So I think this year, you know, like we talked about, what y'all will see with Deegan is like really just changing it up, solidifying these relationships, having conversations. Like, don't talk about freight, talk about football, baseball, dogs. What kind of whiskey do you like? What do you do on the weekends? It's or what are you seeing in the industry? Like, it's more than just, hey, I have all these trucks in your area, or I can do anything under the sun. Nobody's Superman, nobody's the expert. It's just getting back to reality. Because at the end of the day, we're all dealing with
we know,
we're
Jeff,
all dealing with people that do the same thing as us. Yeah, man. Take a different approach.
Jeff, we know. You just wake up and piss success, bro. We get it. It's, you know, you don't have to flaunt it. All right.
I feel like Jeff just walked into Ford's plant one day and was like, I'm changing it. You can't kick me out. Air mattress.
Jeff said debatable. He said, not first thing in the morning, but just around noon. It takes me time to build it up. Oh, man.
Long 3-hour day.
I know, yeah, it's all 3-hour day. Oh my God. We aren't brokers and carrier shippers. We're all just humans, man. You're very welcome, Alex, man. I appreciate you watching, or we do. This is exactly why Hunter and I put on the thing, bro. Because like we said, dude, the last time of the day, you're not doing shit. You're sitting scrolling through LinkedIn or Facebook or answering emails. And, you know, I mean, dude, what
scrolling and clicking, looking busy.
At the end of your day than just listening to us two morons ramble on and talk about how we're experts and everything. Anyway, I am about to have to get off here because I have something I have to go do. But Hunter, do you have anything you want to follow or end with?
Happy 2024, everybody. Great kickoff to the year. Glad to have a lot more activity in here, and yeah, catch us tomorrow. We got Dan Diegler on, old Dan Deegs, the Deegmeister, the Sultan of Sales, coming in the lounge hot.
Dude, I should have used that in the ad thing. The Sultan of Sales. Damn it, that's a good one. Shit.
Okay. Man. Well, you can still use it.
I am so going to implement that into his intro video, dude. It's going to be like an Arabian Night intro thing, dude. Anyway, all right. That is all the time that we got for tonight for all you beautiful people. We appreciate y'all tuning in to our first little diddly here at the beginning of the year. I know we said it last year, but I just want to continue pumping us up. We got some cool things really going on, especially in the month of January. As we talked about earlier in the show, next week we have Jeff Dickinson and Broker Care Summit coming on. Tomorrow we have Dan Deegan. We've got a carrier coming on next week as well, Indy Trucker. Really, really great guy. He's mixed in with Mike Lombard, Reed Lost a Lot. I told you that's my name for him, bro. Reed Lost a Lot. I love that. Anyway, all those guys. So that's going to be a good one. Just got tons and tons of people coming on, continuing to refine the show, try new things. We actually have, I'm not going to say too much now, but we have a new sponsor that's coming on board with a tool that so many people in our industry complain about, that there is only one or two places to go for this tool. And a lot of folks think that the data is corrupted or messed with. So we're really excited to deal with these people and really drive some attention to them and hopefully actually seriously make a change in the industry. I think that's kind of everybody's goal in a sense. Hey, if you can change something for the better in this industry and leave your mark, that'll be awesome. Jeff, see you tomorrow or see you next week. See you on LinkedIn tomorrow. We talk all the time anyway. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and do our final sponsor break here, and we're going to bid you guys and gals adieu. Surelight Capital, factoring for all you brokers, carriers, and manufacturers out there. People don't realize that factoring really just comes down to getting those invoices that you're due money on and flipping them and getting paid as quick as possible to continue to have working capital. Clint and his team over there, really great guys and gals. It's him, his wife, some other family. He spent 20 years in the banking industry. So this guy knows money. He's all about helping all of you grow your businesses. And his goal, he stated several times, is to not have you be a customer of his forever. He wants you to learn to stand on your own 2 feet and have working capital on a consistent basis and not be dependent on other people. AccuBid Pro. Again, I really don't know what else I can say about it. I say it all the time. Their app is in the Google and Apple Play Store. If you're a leaser or an operator, like any other business owner, you have to know at what point you're profitable at. AccuBid Pro's app, that is all it is for, recording your expenses, calculating that cost per mile, teaching you where you're profitable at, teaches you how to bid better, and helps you learn more about the finances of your business.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
And there
Yes,
we
sir.
have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter, again, any closing comments before we roll that beautiful bean footage?
I'll save it for tomorrow.
Save
So
it
y'all
for
better
tomorrow.
be
That's
here
what-
tomorrow.
That's right. Talking with the Sultan of Sales. Dude, I fucking love that. I can't believe I didn't think about that. Damn it. The Sultan of Sales, Danny Dees. With that, I love that. Danny Dees, dude. I used to call him that shit. We used to work together. It's so I love messing with him. All right. Anyway, as always, like to say, chunk the deuces.